Am I in your way?
No, you're good.
So how's everyone doing tonight? So I always love that question when you're at like a big concert and the singer goes on, he's like, so how's everyone doing tonight? And the whole crowd goes, woo! That's not acceptable. That's not an acceptable answer. You can't go into a job interview, hi, welcome to our business. How you doing today? Woo! This wouldn't work. The other one I love is when I tell you you've been a great audience. You guys have been a great audience. Thanks so much. When was the last time you were in an audience that did anything considered great? Audiences never do anything. You're never going to solve world peace as a great audience. Nah. I wonder if you can put that on your resume, like, great audience member, 1997, Limp Bizkit concert. But, that would make me 9 years old at a Limp Bizkit concert, which would be awesome. But, yeah, resumes and getting a job are all about lying anyway, as far as I can tell. I never want to actually tell anyone anything honest, like, be yourself, that's what you want to do. Not if you want a job, no. It's all about lying. I totally lost my train of thought already. Oh, but, so yeah, when you're at a job interview, you don't want to tell what you're actually talking about. You're going to be like, so, I'm 22, I live in my parents' basement. I'm a level 6 paladin at World of Warcraft, and oh, there's one more thing. What was it? I can open Mountain Dew cans with my mouth. No interviewer wants to hear that. They'd be like, oh really? Is that all you have? You're only a level 6 paladin? That's awful. But yeah, the other one I hate is when I ask you, what are some of your weaknesses in a job interview? Tell me about some of your weaknesses. It's like, but you really want to tell weaknesses that are actually strengths. So you need to talk about strengths then. No, you want to take your weaknesses and manipulate them. Oh, fuck it, I'm just going to admit, I have a weakness for hookers. Let's move on. But, yeah, I do love lying, though. That's one of my favorite things. And my friends have a trick where they can always tell when I'm lying. They always know. What they do is they can tell if any part of my mouth's moving. And that's how they know I'm telling a lie. That's their trick. But, I think that's one of the appeals of being a stand-up comic for me is that you can lie as much as you want in front of a whole group of people and no one will ever call you out, which I think is pretty cool. There's no other profession in the world you can just lie for a living, except maybe a politician, I guess, or a lawyer, or an accountant, or a priest, or a pro golfer. You know, there's really not a lot of jobs where you don't lie for a living. Comedian might be one of the most honest ones. Is it anyone's birthday out here tonight? I don't actually care, I was just setting up a joke. But, we'll always get so excited about birthdays, like, oh, it's my birthday, today's my day, I can do whatever I want. I was like, well, I'm paying you $10 an hour to mow my lawn, so shut the hell up, I don't care if it's your birthday. He sounds mean. He makes people mow on their birthday. He can't mow his own lawn. But, yeah, birthdays are a funny thing. One of my friends came up to me, he's like, I wish it was my birthday for a whole week. I wish I had a whole week-long birthday. I was like, I bet your mom doesn't. Can you imagine getting birth for a whole week? That hurts so bad. Time of birth, 6:30, March 13th through March 20th. Weight, 97 pounds. No one wants to give birth to that March. That'd be awful. And no one knows when anyone's birthday is anyway. I don't know when anyone's birthday is. You just look on Facebook and it tells you who people's birthdays are. That's why sometimes when I'm feeling kind of down, having a bummer day, I'll just make it my birthday on Facebook. Why not? Everyone will give you stuff, they'll buy you shots, they'll take you out. They'll think it's your birthday. You can have like 10 birthdays a year, which is awesome. One time I was having a really bad week, so I just made the whole week my birthday. And by the end they were sending cards to my mom's uterus. And I said, I'm sorry. Have you guys heard of Four Loko? The drink, I'm sure. The caffeinated energy drink that supposedly kills people. It got banned in a whole bunch of states because it was so toxic, which at first I thought was crazy that people would keep drinking something that could actually kill you. Then I thought about it and I was like, well, you know, if I did have to die, Four Loko would definitely be the way to go. If I had to choose the death penalty and it was between lethal injection, the electric chair, and Four Loko, I would totally go with Four Loko. Just line up like 10 of those. Why not? It'd be like the ultimate blackout. The worst part about Four Loko anyway is the hangover, right? And you wouldn't have to worry about it if you were going to die anyway. Or would you? What if you were slowly dying? I I can see the light. Oh my God, why is that light so bright? Jesus Christ, can you turn that down? Seriously, Jesus, we're in heaven, there's not like a dimmer switch on that? And St. Peter, can you put some WD-40 on those gates? Really? And then he'd start asking you all the questions, like, what did you do on earth to, deserve to be in heaven? And what good deeds have you done? And I'd be like, St. Pete, man, cool it with the questions. I don't really remember, I kind of blacked out at the end. But, I bet if you had capital punishment, you're probably going to hell anyway. And I bet all hell really is just a really bad Four Loko hangover. So the other day, my friend comes up to me. He does one of these bits. He puts his finger in his mouth, sneaks up behind me, and puts it in and around my ear area. And I was like, okay, that's gross. Interrupted everything that I was doing, which was probably talking to like 10 hot girls. The mouth moving thing. But, so 3 things are running through my head as he does the wet willy, as we call them. First is saliva running through my head, and that's gross. The second was, who was Willie? Why was he so wet? What was Willie all about? Where did this come from? I want to know who this Willie was. Did he have a wet ear problem? What's going on with it? And so, of course, I went to Wikipedia, the source for everything. Nothing there on Wet Willie, so I was really pissed. I had a professor one time who called me out for using Wikipedia in a paper, and I was like, no, Wikipedia is totally a legitimate source. So I wrote him a whole 6-page paper, cited all my sources, telling him why Wikipedia is legitimate, how they back up their sources. He looked at it and he was like, yeah, that's okay, but you cited everything from Wikipedia that you edited in yourself. And I was like, there's nowhere else to go. But the third thing running through my head in the Wet Willy situation was how to get my revenge. And so, sure, wet willies are pretty gross, but you know what would be a lot grosser would be a willy wet. So what I did is I snuck up behind him, got my finger in my ear, and just jammed it in his mouth. Gotcha, bitch. But, a willy wet. That's why I went with that. So, the other day I was sitting on my couch and I heard a knock on my door. And you always know by the knock, before you even get to the door, who it's going to be. Sometimes you've got the roommate, let me in, I gotta poop, let me in. And then by the time you get there, there's a huge, like, brown doormat, and you don't know what to do. And sometimes you get the really quick, like, and it's the postman who's, like, already sprinted back to his car, flooring it away as he was avoiding any human interaction possible. Should I have signed this? As he's flooring away. But I didn't get any of those knocks. I got this one. I got the... really slow, like an hour between each knock. I thought for sure death was waiting at the door, waiting to get me. When I got to the door, worse, it was Jehovah's Witnesses. I was like, right. And so they start talking, blah, 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 blah. Start going on about how we're all destined and doomed to hell, we're all gonna die. And I was like, all right, guys, if we're all doomed to hell, I got a fridge full of Four Loko, let's get this party started, why not? And they kept going, blah, blah, blah. Talking about how there's only 61 seats left in Jehovah's Witness heaven, and I can buy one for $11.99 plus tax. And I was like, well, I kind of spent all my money on Four Loko. I already kind of bought a seat last year that I haven't really used yet. And so they kept talking, blah, blah, blah. And they went on to talk about a Yahweh, the Hebrew word for Lord, so powerful, his name can't be spoken aloud, Yahweh. And at this point, I'm kind of drifting off, and they're like, are you still with me? Are you still following? I was like, actually, yeah, I totally get it. He who must not be named. Your Lord's Voldemort. You guys have Death Eaters coming to recruit me, and I'm in. Let's go get Harry Potter. And I was like, yes. But then I got this awkward silence. They kind of looked at each other, and they were like, I was like, oh crap, they probably weren't allowed to read Harry Potter or grown up in a Christian family. The joke didn't land. And then one looks at the other one, and this is what he says. Not what I expected. He says, all in parcel tongue. I didn't understand a word of it, but we went and killed muggles for the next, like, 30 minutes, and it was awesome. Moral of the story, always hang out with Jehovah's Witnesses.
And then the
it's your ticket to the wizarding world. So I'm going to end with a little song here. It's about friendship and true love and true friendship. Friendship, love. This is my awesome song. It's not very long. Thanks, guys. You've been a great audience. Find me on Facebook. It'll be my birthday.
I know he was ending there. I was just going to need a mic for his guitar, but nice job, dude. Good job.
First timer. Do it up for Stephen Stover one more time, everybody.